We talk about don't like this, don't support that. And I think the biggest error that Monique made in this is knowing that they were not going to go back to Netflix and not knowing how this was going to become backlash or backfire or blow up. That they would possibly not have the opportunity to even go back to Netflix. They didn't give us an alternative. And one thing that we have to do is give people an alternative. What we understand about telling people how to boycotts. Let's talk about that. The one thing I'm trying to tell people to boycott is you can't tell people how to spend their money. Nobody's trying to hear that. I don't know why. But you have to tell them about the alternative. And that's something I think, that's a mistake that we have made time and time again throughout history. When I look at the bus boycott, the biggest thing that to my dismay coming out of the bus boycott is if we didn't end up with any kind of ownership in transportation. We caused a major change in an industry, but yet we didn't end up with any kind of ownership in transportation. And when you think about it, if you go back to Marcus Garvey, who was all about logistics and transportation, and how people still to this day won't even recognize Marcus Garvey, and they won't even recognize the economic struggles, the real economic struggles of the Civil Rights Movement, or the real economic struggles or successes of the Black Panther movement, the real economic struggles in the Black Lives, or economic successes in the Black Lives Matter movement. Out of all of these movements, we still ended up with no ownership. And so even if, thanks for coming back, Patrick, even if Netflix is now offering out amazing deals, we still don't have a distribution channel. We still don't have any kind, let me come back at the shot. We still don't have any kind of ownership of this. They're still not, they didn't turn around and say, oh, well, we're not going to do a deal with Netflix. Well, and then they kind of find out you out there making movies for free. You out there doing stuff on the low, and you won't even do it for channels that are out there for you. Okay, you made the movie on the low and expected something on the back end. Why don't you go over there to the black dish? We have black. In fact, Bob Johnson, who started BET, has a black, quote unquote, black Netflix. There's an urban movie channel, which is has the same subscription base. It has the distribution, but that's only if you checking for black movies, and most of y'all ain't. And I'm like, well, it's the urban movie channel, but why do y'all only have black movies? Because 60% of the audience ain't just checking for black movies. They ain't just checking for black comics. And truth be told, the people who are watching the most in black comedy or consuming black content is the larger audience that's trying to appropriate the content. Hell, they know more black colloquialisms than we do. They, you know what I'm saying? It's like some of the stuff I'm like, what are you saying? I don't know. I'm like, I'm out of the loop. You gotta go. I'm like one place. I'm like, what are they saying? They appropriate. So the bottom line is, we don't know. The bottom line is, even if Netflix goes to Monique and offer her $100 million deal, we still won't have any ownership. We still won't be able to do anything with that. And why are people still trying to get a deal? Can I get a piece of the ownership? Why is Oprah Winfrey the only one out there saying, yeah, but I'm gonna need to own a piece of it? Weight Watchers came with a deal, but yeah, I'm gonna need ownership. Is Oprah the only one asking for ownership? I know I asked for ownership. I don't know about y'all. I'm like I said, I own a channel. Okay. I own a channel. My company is called Distribution, established 1992, because I knew the internet was coming. I'm just saying, I think 92, 93, when did I start that company, right? Because I knew digital was coming, okay? And I have done a digital screening. We had several thousands of people watching a digital film of Barack Obama's election day. I knew to have have a channel running on Inauguration Day, because I knew that there were still at that time millions of people who weren't going to be able to jump on a device or on an internet connection, that they were going to need to go old school. I'm like, hell, I ran a conference call. I was like, everybody ain't got the internet, everybody ain't got broadband. Shit, we done spent 20 years trying to close the digital divide. I'm going to run a conference call. People are going to be on the bus. People are going to be at the wash house. And literally, that's what they said. They was on the bus. They was at the wash house. They didn't have television. They didn't have the internet. They jumped on the conference call and listened. People, all of my tech friends in the tech sphere, they were like, "You're going to run a conference call?" I said, "Yeah, because the internet's going to crash." All these people trying to watch Barack Obama's inauguration, the internet's going to crash. I'm going to be on a conference call. And you know what I did? I had several thousand people on that conference call. And you know what I did? I put the phone in front of the television. And you know what? At the end of that conference call, do you know how many phone numbers I had that I could then text? I'm just saying. And the internet did crash. Everybody who was watching a live stream or listening online, they lost connection. And they then did what? They jumped on the phone call. And I literally took the phone and laid it down in front of the telephone. The TV. I laid the phone in front of the TV, and I then jumped on Blog Talk. I had Blog Talk going on, and I had a conference call for people to call in and listen to Barack Obama's inauguration speech. And at the end of that call, I had all of those phone numbers that I could then text people and say, go back and listen to it, go check out my website, and different things like that. I know distribution, and that's what this is. You might think you're just going to watch Netflix. It's about Black America having a distribution channel. And we still don't have that. You got, in this mix, this unhealthy thing that's going on with Monique, you got Monique, you got Oprah, you got Tyler Perry, you got Will Packer, and they're at the top of the Hollywood game. They're at the top. There's nobody who, well, still, there's somebody higher than all of them. And that's Byron Allen. Ain't nobody got a deal like Byron Allen yet. Byron Allen is still, and people got, who's Byron Allen? Talk about comedy, go Google Byron Allen comedy. That's what Monique should have been. Well, actually, that's what Monique was trying to do. That's what all I'm doing. Do a project, go to somebody and get your deal. But ain't nobody surpassed Byron. And Byron Allen's in that 1%. Who's in the 1%, Yolanda? People who are unbothered. Byron Allen is a comedian. He hosts a TV show, Comics Unleashed. And he is unbothered. I'm trying to get in that 1% where I could just be unbothered. I'm still in that 30% trying to bring folk. That 30% of people trying to bring folk along with them. And we just need to learn to let y'all go. Let y'all believe what y'all believe. I want to get in that 1% where so bad so I could just be unbothered, you know. And the 1% is, the 1% is 10% really. 10%. Well, there's 10% unbothered, but 1% are the owners, and they're unbothered because they own it all. But the 10%, the 9% is the ones that are unbothered. I want to be so unbothered with this. I want to be that somebody that could just see Monique out there talking, her husband boo-hooing, and see the conversation going and just be unbothered. But no, I'm in the 30%. I got to go out there and try to save some of y'all from the 60% that's going to have y'all back on the plantation. That 60% y'all out there talking about you ain't get rid of Netflix. That 60% going to have y'all back on the plantation. I'm telling y'all going to end up back on the plantation. You're going to be slaves again. I hate to get that deep with you, but that's 60%. Because, you know, what you don't know is that during that time, 30% was free and free forever. 30% have been free and free forever. I'm just saying, I'm in that 30% trying to keep y'all from ending up back on the plantation. But go ahead on, have fun, enjoy yourselves with the 60%. Just make sure you have an escape route. Keep tabs on those of us in the 30%. And do keep tabs, because if I ever get to that 10%, you're going to be like, where you long to go? What DryerBuzz, y'all? What DryerBuzz? DryerBuzz over there in that 10%. I'm trying to get my necklace straight. Forget this camera. It's like backwards. All right. I thank you guys so much. Our anniversary is coming up. March the 13th will be the official 16th year for DryerBuzz. Hashtag DryerBuzz, DryerBuzz.com. 16 years. So I kind of know a little something of what I've been talking about. And I have talked to a number of these people. And do I want to talk to them now? Nope, because they're unhealthy. Shout out to Shannon for my t-shirt, for taking the brand to that next level. Shout out to everybody that has watched and shared. If you caught this video on one of your friends' timeline, thank them for sharing some good. Hopefully you enjoyed it, some good stuff with it. You got good friends. If you saw any of these videos on your friend's timeline, you got good friends, and we have been here far too long. We've had an amazing conversation, and I thank you guys so much for allowing me to hold your attention, to entertain you, and to give you some good information. That's what we do at DryerBuzz.com. Don't forget, this is the year of keeping up with the Garrisons. So if you ain't watching Netflix, go over there and watch YouTube. Or if you're watching Netflix, also go over there and check out some great stuff that people have on their YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Garrisons. Subscribe to DryerBuzz. I've got some great stuff on my YouTube. This is going on the YouTube. And so forth. But just, listen. Fix your errors. If you think you got haters, you probably made an error. You can't fix the haters, but you can go fix the error. And guess what? The haters will move on to something else. I appreciate all you do. Patrick Phillips, I appreciate all you do. And I was thinking about you this morning because we were talking about Vine. Patrick, guys, used to have a real funny Vine. Patrick, where can we find you now? I see some of your stuff come through on Facebook, but I know you did a lot on the Vine and so forth. And I guess is it Instagram or you Periscope? Where is your distribution channel? Patrick, tell us before I hit that button. Where is your distribution channel? Where is your distribution channel? And if you are not distributing, where are you supporting? Who are you supporting? As I end this, the conversation doesn't stop here. There are comments. Those of you on Periscope can tweet me. Who are you supporting? RipThemUp.com. Yes, RIPPDEMUP.com. And yes, he does. He rips them up. RipThemUp.com. That's right. So definitely go. That's his channel. That is his channel. Stop saying your website and this. That's his channel. That's the piece of this landscape that he owns. Go over there and support, and you're going to get some really good conversations, some really good talking points, and some great debates. So thank you guys so much for watching me. I'm going to head out into the city that is Atlanta for living Atlanta style, and I'm going to go see what's going on in a couple places, but most importantly, I'm going to end up at a private screening for Click, KLIQUE, which is produced by Clark Garrison, where he has done some amazing storytellers about some Atlanta photographers. Everything that you know and have seen or think about Atlanta was probably captured by these photographers, and it is part of the Atlanta branding. They set the tone, and it got me back interested in a little bit of photography. And for those of you that have great stuff, let me give you one more lesson. If you've got great images on your Instagram, that could be your next book, okay? If you want a book, one of the things to think about in the content that you have out here, content you have on your blog, content you have on your Instagram, videos you have on your Periscope. There are channels of distribution out here that you can use to take some of those blog posts, get somebody to go over to Fiverr or wherever you need to go and get somebody to do your book cover. Zakia Ringo, she went over there to Fiverr and got her book cover done. And this is her first one. She's just now published her second one. And she's doing these little recipe books. They're just short recipe books. She's a soap maker. And so she's taking and publishing her recipes along with some wisdom of being a soap maker. And she started her business on Periscope, and now she's one of the most amazing soap makers out there. So, it's about what do you own? It's not just about what do you consume, what do you own? What piece of this landscape, this real estate out here in this digital space, okay, there's 3 levels to it. There's the tangible, this print level. There is the intellectual digital level. And then there's also, the free level, which is your blogs and those kinds of things, all these different platforms that offer no royalties. But take it to that next level. There are people that'll say, well, Yolanda, I can't always stop what I'm doing and watch the video. Where can I download it? Oh, and then I tell them where they can go and download it, where I get a royalty. Because, people who want convenience, they pay for convenience. Then there are those that say, well, where can I see you live? And I'm like, there's a premium customer. So then I always make sure I have a calendar on the date that people can see me live. Come and sit down, have breakfast with me, or meet me for drinks or different things like that. When you hear people say, I wish, that you did this, or I wish that you did. That's a level of service that you should offer. And nobody says you have to do it for free. Stop telling Monique she got to do it for free, because you telling Monique she got to do it for free because you think you have to do it for free. You don't have to do it for free. Monique don't have to do it for free. So stop telling Monique to be quiet. Well, Monique, you need to change up the language on the daddy thing. But at the same time, Zakiya, I was just holding up your book. All Monique has to do at this point, all Donald Trump has to do at this point, is just change up the language. Language is everything. Language is by and far, foremost, the first barrier that we have is the ability to communicate. If you want to take over the world, you cannot take over the world unless you can communicate and take over the broadcast. Monique has the ability to take over the broadcast, clearly. She took over every channel that's out there, but the language was not right. The language was incorrect. The language was her error, and that's it. Stop right there. Don't try to degrade the sister. Don't tell her to leave her husband. Don't tell her to fire him as a manager. Just fix the language. Fix the language. And then people will begin to listen. Been in and out, but once again, great comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. We're hitting up there, so let me go and hit this button. Filter the entire internet for DryerBuzz. You'll see all the great conversations and great debates that we've had out there. And then also make sure you give us a follow. And again, if you're watching this video, if you saw this video on a friend's timeline, thank your friends for putting you in with DryerBuzz. Bye, guys. All right.
Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow @DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
You are definitely a spiritually filled, thinking woman, and that is what we've been lacking in our community.
Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow @DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.